Well, hello there, and welcome to Mystical Minds, the podcast where magic meets modern life. The metaphysical isn't just possible, it's personal. I'm your host, Allie Thies. I'm a psychic energy worker, soul connection specialist, and the former host of Ask Allie, the longest running spiritual podcast on Apple Podcasts with 19 incredible seasons. Over the years, I've written 8 books, including the Gypsy Magic series, Out of Body Ecstasy, Gypsy Girl's Guide to Goals, and one spicy erotic novel and a chapter in the best selling book, Sacred Self, where I shared how to create a bedroom that truly invites love. I've been walking the mystical path since childhood, and now I help others remember who they really are through intuitive readings, soul work, and the safe, sacred space of the Mystical Minds community. This podcast is your invitation to explore the magical, metaphysical, and wildly mysterious side of life. From energy healing to spirit guides, soulmates to sacred rituals, nothing is off limits. So grab your tea, light a candle, and let's dive into the mystery together. Well, hello. Hi. Thank you for all who tuned in for episode number 1. I was greatly surprised and honored that as many people listened to it as they did. I know a lot of you are from the Ask Allie podcast, and I welcome you to the new Mystical Minds podcast. Don't forget, I am looking for guests for this podcast. If you help the mystical, the magical, the intuitive, any way possible, please look at the link in the show's notes and let me know if you'd like to be a guest on Mystical Minds. So, I have a cat visiting me. For those of you who know me, I do have 12 cats and 1 dog. That's what I'm down to. I think the last time I did an Ask Allie, I had 15 cats and 2 dogs. So I've lost a few animals along the way. I don't know if you remember my Hubba Bubba, my blue healer. Yeah, he passed away at the beginning of 24. The past year, gosh, who's gone? Sarah, Squeaker, she was otherwise known as, and Shirley were the two that cats that have passed. Right now, next to me, I have Xena, who, who over the years has always been a partner here at the podcast. It used to be Lucky, but she passed in 24, so now Xena has taken over that spot where she likes to lend her kitty cat magic to every single episode. So let's move forward. Let's go to the card of the week. Now, it doesn't matter if you're listening to this card of the week today or maybe 5 years from now. This is the card for you for this week, no matter when you hear it. All right. So let me move the cat out of the way so I can shuffle. Excuse me, cat. And something else you need to know about me if you're brand new to me, Allie, and my podcasts is that I don't edit. I edit nothing. And over the years, we've had some interesting habits or interesting things that have happened here uh, between phone calls and people at the door and fights and what fights between the animals, not fights between me and my son, and anything else that's nuts has happened at one point in time. The deck I'm using for this card of the week is Denise Linn Sacred Traveler. This, I believe, is my favorite deck. Uh, it's never let me down, not a once, or anyone who has ever got a reading by it. And if you would like to have 3 card readings, did you know that? I do. If you go to outofbodyxc.com, you will see my 3 card readings. They're pretty awesome. Yes, they are. All right. Let's choose the card of the week. What's this week going to be like? All I can ever think of is no whammies, no whammies. And what do we have? Grace and gratitude this week. Through gratitude, joy expands. So, whenever this card crops up, the week may be, well, a little taxing on some people. Might be way too much red energy, just kind of pounding down your door and making you quick to anger, quick to for anxiety or depression or frustration. And this card is telling us that look to what you already have. Okay, you have a job, you may not like it all the time. Heck, you may not like it hardly any of the time. but you have a job and you get a paycheck. Be grateful for that. If you have your own house, you should be grateful for that. If your parents are still alive, there's something else to have gratitude for. And the list goes on and on and on. But if we look at what we're grateful for, what we currently have this week, the energy will not be such a force to be reckoned with. All right. So, grace and gratitude. And if you don't have a gratitude journal, today is a fantastic time to start one. Every day you can write one or three, or anywhere in between, things that you're grateful for. Every single day, you'd be amazed how your energy shifts when you do that. All right. So, moving forward, let's talk about the mystical item of the week. And this week it is the lovely rose quartz. Okay, especially the ones that are shaped like hearts. And yes, I know somebody shapes them into hearts, but they're still a wondrous piece, aren't they not? The rose quartz is a stone of unconditional love. Carry it close to your heart to enhance the soul connection energy. You can invite soulmate frequency with one of these and soften emotional blockages. Excuse me. Now, the main topic this week is the soulmate spectrum: romantic, platonic, and beyond. Each month, I'm having a theme to my podcasts, and this month it happens to be soul connections. For those of you who have known me for a while, you know I started the Soulful Connection book back in 2013 after I finished Out of Body Ecstasy and got that published. Well, I shelved it, and it hasn't seen the light of day until now. And believe it or not, I am done with it. I am done with it, and I have, I'm not sure exactly when it's going to be published, but it is finished. It is wonderful, and that's why this month the theme is soul connections. So let's demystify soulmates. In my book, Soulful Connections, I describe soulmates not as the mythical fairy tale characters, but as your energetic allies your soul recognizes, potential partners in your evolution, reflections of your growth, and activators of your potential. Soulmates show up in many forms. This is what I call the soulmate spectrum. They're not always romantic, not always lifelong, and not always easy, but they are always significant. Romantic soulmates are the ones we most often hear about. You meet, there's an undeniable pull. It feels like your souls have known each other across lifetimes. These relationships often carry deep emotional and energetic imprints, sometimes comforting, sometimes, yep, I wrote a word, I can't pronounce it. Um, Catalytic. I know I probably said it wrong, but there you go with my dyslexia. But here's the truth. A romantic soulmate doesn't always mean they're forever. Sometimes they arrive to awaken a part of you that's been dormant, to stir your heart, activate your body, or to teach you to love yourself more deeply by showing you where you've been neglecting your own needs. You might experience passion, intensity, even chaos, but always, always, there is a lesson involved. Now we have platonic soulmates. These are the ones who walk beside you in friendship, loyalty, and spiritual resonance. Your soul recognizes them instantly. These connections often feel safe, easy, and grounding. Platonic soulmates help you remember who you are, especially when you forget. They hold space for your expansion, challenge you with love, and never require you to shrink and be less than yourself. This could be a lifelong friend, a sibling, or even someone you met last year who feels like home. Now we have karmic soulmates. This venture, we go into kind of trickier territory. Karmic soulmates come with energetic contracts, unfinished business from other lifetimes. These connections tend to feel intense, confusing, or they can even feel painful. You may feel drawn in over and over again, even when you try to walk away. But karmic soulmates aren't here to torture you. They're here to teach you, to help you break patterns, heal ancestral wounds, and reclaim your power. These relationships require discernment. Learn the lesson, and the soul contract begins to dissolve. Now, remember, we talked about soul contracts in the first episode last week. If you haven't listened to that, please go back and learn more about soul contracts and then come back to this podcast or this episode. Okay, so we have purpose driven soulmates. Some soulmates arrive just when you're about to pivot. They might stay a week or a season, but they leave a mark that shifts your entire path. Maybe they introduce you to your spiritual gifts, support your awakening, or remind you of your soul's deeper mission. These are your soul activators. They don't always look like what you would expect, but when they arrive, your energy shifts and the trajectory of your life realigns. And then we have some in beyond the human realm. In Soulful Connections, I also talk about soul bonds with beings beyond our human experience. This includes animal companions, spirit guides, and even those on the other side. Have you ever had a pet that felt like they were more than just a pet? My Darren, if anybody remembers him, my Darren, this was him. That's a soul contract, a sacred agreement. These beings teach us presence, unconditional love, and often how to grieve with grace. Their impact ripples through our soul's memory. And now we have a soulmate cluster. So, contrary to the popular myth that we have just one, you are part of a soulmate cluster, a group of souls you travel with across lifetimes. You incarnate in different roles for each other. You have the teacher, the lover, the mother, the rival, the friend. Every interaction is a thread in the tapestry of your soul's evolution. The more you awaken to your energy and intuition, the easier it becomes to recognize these people. Sometimes it's in a look, a dream, feeling in your gut. You'll know them when they show up. So let's pause a moment here and reflect. Who are the soulmates shaping your journey right now? Think about who's in your life. Who is shaping your journey right now, do you think? What soul contracts are still active? And which ones do you feel are complete? And most importantly, how can you show up with a conscious presence and energetic clarity in these connections? The soulmate spectrum is not about finding the one, it's about awakening to your own frequency so that your connections, romantic, platonic, karmic, and cosmic, can unfold in alignment with your soul's truth. Well, guys, that's a wrap on this episode of Mystical Minds. I hope it sparks something inside of you, a memory, a knowing, maybe a nudge from your soul. If you loved what we explored today, please don't keep it to yourself. Share this episode with someone who needs a little magic in their life. And if you're craving more, come join the Mystical Minds group. It's a safe, sacred space to explore everything from energy work to soul connections, intuition, spirit guides, and more. You'll find support, a small community, and, well, your people. And if you're someone who walks the metaphysical path and would love to share your wisdom on this podcast, whether you're an energy worker, intuitive healer, or maybe someone with just a wild spiritual story, I'd love to hear from you. Remember, I'm currently booking new guests. You can also book a private reading or a soul session with me anytime at outofbodyecstasy.com. Whether you're seeking clarity, healing, or a deeper connection to your soul path, I've got you. And until next time, stay grounded, stay curious, and remember, you're not lost. You're remembering who you are. We'll talk again soon, you beautiful souls.